Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a group here in the Commonwealth looks into the possible role strip mining had in the amount of deaths caused by flooding. And an Eastern Kentucky emergency shelter asks for your help with getting its new program rolling to help get people to and from work.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock here. Good morning. I'm Dakota Makris. And it's Valentine's Day. It's another holiday, but of course it's not on the same scale as my birthday was yesterday. Let's go over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. Brandon, just let me have it just one time. That's it. I won't mention it again.
Okay. All right. One time.
I'll mention it at 6:30.
I won't mention it again, but I'll mention it at 6:30.
Listen, so yesterday I went to Applebee's for dinner, and two viewers stopped me and talked to me, and they told me to basically, ask me about how the national holiday was going, and then was like, now maybe you can lay off Brandon a little bit. I said no. No, never will.
Listen, it's a whole month thing for Dakota, so it'll be the rest of this month, I'm sure.
Oh well, I'm just the gift that keeps on giving, Brandon.
Okay. All right, let's get into the forecast this morning as we start the day off here on this Valentine's Day. We're going to be seeing some clear skies out there in some spots. Saw the moon on my drive in this morning. Pretty moon, a little crescent shaped. But again, it's just a cold start to the day. A lot of 20s and 30s out there, very few 40s. Prestonsburg and Pikeville, the only spots at 40. Before we lost Jackson right there at the beginning of the newscast, they were at 47. So we'll have to wait and see what they are when they come back. But 26 on the other end of the scale there in Clintwood is our cold spot, tied with Ashland. Just now notice they were at 26 as well. So again, chilly out there in spots, but your Valentine's Day forecast looking pretty mild out there as we see temperatures top out in the mid-60s, mid to upper 60s this afternoon, but the clouds will gradually increase as we head deeper into the day. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, a group here in the Commonwealth believes strip mines played a role in the amount of deaths related to July's flood. Now it is sending a letter to the federal government asking for an investigation. Our Keaton Hall has more on what the group hopes to see changed.
When it rains, my grandchildren get afraid because they think it's going to come another flood.
Steve Peak is a pastor in Fleming Neon. He lost furniture and his car when 2 feet of floodwater rushed into his home.
Water came off the mountains, I think where the strip mining had took place, nothing on the mountain to hold the water back, so it all came down.
Officials with Kentuckians for the Commonwealth agree with Peak, saying July's flood was affected by local strip mines.
Land that has been mined and not reforested does not retain water in the same way as an intact forest.
KTFC officials say the state of Kentucky should have done more to reclaim the old strip mines, and now they're sending a letter to the federal government asking for an investigation.
It's a great time to revisit what's happening with the regulatory system, with the eye to the fact that this is not going to be the last event of this nature to come into our area.
In the letter, KTFC officials provided data, noting the proximity of 35 flood-related deaths to strip mines.
There were 5 victims at the mouth of Trace Branch. You will see there at the pointer, the triangular-shaped structure is the hollow fill for a large mine site.
The group hopes the letter will motivate the federal government to reassess environmental safety laws related to mines.
God give us this green earth and we ought to be good stewards over it. And I think we've lacked in that we've not took care of our land.
In Perry County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
In a statement, the state defended its enforcement of mining regulations. State leaders say they welcome any federal investigation into surface mining's contribution to the flooding. For several months, Knott County has been registering flood survivors for private property debris removal or demolition, but county officials say no one has received assistance yet. Well, the county has been working with the state to register people for private property debris removal and demolition, but without ample funding for this program, the county does not have the means to assist people. Judge Executive Jeff Dobson says this could cause people to turn to illegal dumping, causing more issues later on.
I was talking with an individual yesterday that they were looking forward to things starting to green up to maybe hide some of the flood debris and things that should have been cleaned up months ago. So, it's a real concern.
He says he and other officials are working to get the ball rolling with debris removal program. If you're interested in registering for the program, you can visit WYMT.com. The Community Trust Bank branch at Isom in Letcher County reopened its lobby and drive-through Monday morning. Well, the bank is the latest business in the same area to make a comeback after the flood. The nearby Isom Community Pharmacy opened back up in late August, and the Isom Vendors Mall just reopened in early February. Well, we saw mild temperatures last week and more warmer weather is on the way. We caught up with a member of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet who says crews are taking advantage of it to catch up on road repairs. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 10 crews were busy repairing potholes on Kentucky 1110 Monday morning.
Weather is always a factor in how we approach our construction and maintenance. Obviously, in the winter, a lot of our efforts go into snow and ice removal.
District 10 has not had to deal with a lot of ice or snow so far this winter. Around average rainfall and warmer temperatures are the perfect recipe for road repairs.
Even if you don't have snow in the wintertime, you have potholes because of water seeping into cracks in the roadway and the freeze-thaw cycle and then the impact of traffic on the pavement.
Not only repairing potholes, but working on ditches to keep water flowing, along with brush and tree removal to increase visibility. But with that, Elkins says drivers should stay alert to working crews.
If you've stood out near a work zone, you know how harrowing it can be sometimes. So that's what we're trying to do, is just get people to slow down a little bit and pay attention and give our workers some room, give them a break.
Working to keep you and our roads safe. In Breathitt County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. Well, if you'd like to report a pothole, you can call 1-800-PATCH-IT or 1-800-4KYTC. Well, getting around Lake Cumberland will soon be easier. The Kentucky Department of Tourism awarded the Somerset-Pulaski County Convention and Visitors Bureau $175,000. The money will be used to design and install a wayfinding system. It will cover all 101 miles of Lake Cumberland in 5 counties. One Pike County Safe Space is asking for help to get its people back on their feet. Our buddy Forbes has more about the call to action and how the community is answering.
The West Care Perry Klein Emergency Shelter in Pikeville is on a mission.
People will think that this is just a place you come where you can camp out and just hang out, and really it's not the truth. We want to make the homeless population productive again.
A mission to get those who are unhoused back on their feet.
We try to operate here like we're just all a big family. It's not you're homeless or I'm not, or you're different than I am. It's that we're all working together collectively to better their situation.
But sometimes making things better starts with a bike.
One of the biggest things we have here with getting them back on the workforce is transportation.
A new program is underway at the shelter asking the community to help its people pedal forward.
When clients begin work, we can assign them one of those bicycles to help them get back and forth to work. I've noticed every time that we've had a donation of bicycles or any way of transport, that it's increased the chances of them going to work so much because it's not so hard on getting back and forth.
Inviting people to bring in adult bicycles to aid in the Wheels to Work efforts.
And most of the time when you see somebody that's willing to ride a bike or walk to work, you know, they really need the help.
But while the bikes get them to work in a more efficient way, organizers say it is the community support that remains the center's strongest driving factor.
Homeless people are used to being kind of looked down upon or brushed to the side, but when they see you bringing them something here, such as a bike, they think, wow, these people, they do care about me and they do want to see me do better. So that gives them a sense of, okay, I'm going to try because they're helping me try.
Using handlebars as a hand up. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
If you're interested in donating a bicycle to the shelter, you can contact Sanders at 606-213-0166.
6:09 here on this Tuesday morning. It is Valentine's Day and things are fairly quiet out there. Let's go over to Jenkins this morning, US 119, US 23. No major issues as you head out the door into Southwest Virginia or toward Jenkins there and up toward Pike County. We're looking at temperatures from 26 over in Clintwood and Ashland to 40 in Prestonsburg and Pikeville. A lot of other 20s and 30s out there this morning, but some spots still going down, some spots still coming up. So again, we're kind of keeping an eye on that. A little extra on your coffee meter to max warming needed as you head through the first part of your day. Make sure you give yourself time to get those cars warmed up. And if you're grabbing a donut or something else on your way out the door, a bagel or something like that, it's going to be a fairly nice day for a while. It's going to be a dry day all day, but I do think we see some clouds increase as we head toward the afternoon hours. Daytime high 66. Dakota.
All right, Brendan, thank you. And when we come back, state leaders introduce a bill against domestic violence, hoping to give victims some peace of mind.